EntrepRadio Online. EntrepRadio Online. EntrepRadio Online.
¿Cómo hacer para no quererte? Yeah. Nadie como tú, no hay un sustituto para ese cuerpo tuyo que a mí ya me tiene cuco. En un rato te busco.
Bringing you fun and informative tips to make you more financially confident here on Money Talk. So ano? May hugot ka ba sa pera?
What a spectacular evening! Hello! Spectacular ang evening because we have about 20,000 viewers for tonight's pilot episode of Money Talk! Nakaka-excite naman because final chance to invite you, millennials, Gen Zs, even the titos and titas of Manila to join us here in Money Talk! Now, what else makes this evening spectacular? Hulaan nyo nga. Comment kayo dyan. Sino ba? What else makes this evening spectacular? Of course, because of your hosts for tonight. Ayan, starting with, syempre, yours truly, Marianne, or ang nagmamagandang sugalerang nagpapaalalang okay lang sumugal sa pera, pero wag sa taong minsay iniwan ka na. O, diba? Napakahabang intro. But I'm your host, again, Marianne, and promise, kakalmahan ko next time because ayaw naman nating mabash here, diba? Baka may natatamaan dyan sa mga hugot natin. And syempre, hindi ako nag-iisa tonight because makakasama ko ay someone who has 4 years of experience in the bank or banking experience, being a former support officer and a former sales trader. Let's all welcome my even more spectacular co-host. Ayan na, nasa na siya? Tada! Andito pala.
Hi guys! I'm your
Hello.
pakipot na kuripot na si Gabi. By the way, thank you for that intro kanina, Marianne. Let me also take this opportunity na din to honor you as our financial health advocate working in the insurance industry and helping Filipinos make financial choices today for a better and protected tomorrow.
Wow, thank you for that introduction, Gab.
So Marianne, you mentioned earlier that we are inviting the millennials, Gen Zs, titos, and titas, right? But for what?
Right. Because we're inviting them because Money Talk is EntrepRadio Network's newest online show wherein we will create and let them engage in conversations that make us financially confident with a heart.
Ay, wait, teka,
Yeah.
financially confident. Ito ba yung confident ka na may sahod ka ng 15th tapos mag-a-add to cart ka sa Lazada ng 8-8 pa lang?
Pwede. Ang aga naman ng add to cart. Wala pa ngang 15. But the question is, have you allocated na ba an amount for your savings and investment na din?
Ay, investment, savings, these sound so interesting. But sometimes it's very difficult for people, especially mga Filipinos to do, di ba?
Agree. Though, what do you think, ano yung reason kung bakit they find it hard sometimes to save?
Kasi there are a lot of reasons naman, but let's start with the reason that money is still kind of a taboo in Filipino conversations.
Tama. I even remember, no, hearing from old people when I was young na money is evil. Narinig mo din ba yun?
Well, yung mom ko naman was very progressive when it comes to money. So talagang open conversation siya with me. Although I do hear that from yung mga kaibigan ko. So that's one of the many misconceptions that we have about money talaga here sa culture natin.
Right. And definitely we'll talk more about those misconceptions later on, how to switch our money mindset to the right approach by, of course, setting our money goals. Because again, here in Money Talk, we aim to make conversations about money a normal, comfortable, and, a fun topic amongst Filipinos. Since na-mention mo nga kanina, it's still kind of a taboo in our culture.
Syempre, and we'd love for you to engage with us as well, no? So later, don't forget na maki-hashtag with us sa comment section. Hashtag MoneyTok.PH. That is hashtag MoneyTokPH. And speaking of hashtag, let's watch this, Oh, wait lang, I am getting a message from the back, no? Pero kung nakita nyo kanina before the show started, di ba? May TikTok yung lovely co-host ko kanina, di ba? Naka-feature. So guys, yung yung TikTok video na yan, that's yung some of the money beliefs that you used to have that you don't follow now. Ganon. So guys,
That's right.
check out nyo na lang po yung TikTok namin, MoneyTok.PH eventually. Magkaka-post po kami this week. And of course, take the opportunity po to stitch or duet yung post namin at baka kayo po ang ma-feature sa intro ng aming show, di ba?
That's right. Yan. Syempre gusto natin ma-share ninyo ang inyong mga thoughts and of course money beliefs also that you do have about money growing up. And kanina nga na-mention ni Gab, the TikTok that we are supposed to show you later on is going to be about money beliefs you used to have or heard growing up but don't really follow now or not applicable now.
So I am being told na ready na po ang TikTok video natin. So without further ado, let's go Money Talk!
Alright!
EntrepRadio Online.
¿Cómo hacer para no quererte? Yeah. Nadie como tú, no hay un sustituto para ese cuerpo tuyo que a mí ya me tiene cuco. En un rato te busco.
EntrepRadio Online.
O, diba? Yun, TikTok is live. Kahit dito sa Money Talk. Pero tune in later because we still have many surprises for you.
Abangan nyo yan, guys. So, Marianne, who told you about the money beliefs you had? Who influenced you with these beliefs before and now?
Actually, meron akong dalawang shinare doon, diba? Yung una is, they say na, don't count your money because if you keep counting your money, you're gonna lose more than you're going to earn. And I think it's also the same as yung mga superstition natin in the past na wag mo daw bilangin kung ano yung meron ka kasi mas lalo daw silang mawawala sa'yo. No one really told me that or I can't really exactly remember who, but I
Mhm.
was told because when I was young, mahilig ako mag-save. Kasi yung goal
Mhm.
ko nung bata ako, nagsisave ako para sa Christmas.
Mhm.
Binibigyan ko ng mga gifts yung mga pinsan ko, yung nanay ko, ng mga yung mga small gifts lang, yung mga candles, mga ganyan, mga
Mhm.
picture
Mhm.
frame. Ganun kami sa probinsya mga simpleng gifts lang. But then I think one person from our family saw me na nagbipil lang ng ipon ko. Sabi, "Oy, ba't bilang ka ng bilang ng pera mo? Baka mas lalo dang mawala yan," ganyan. So, that's it. I did not really grow up knowing how to track or
Mhm.
alam mo yun, yung mga nagsusulat ng budget nila.
Mhm.
Nagaganon ka
Mhm.
ba ng sinusulat kung ano yung kailangan kong gastusin for this month and all that? I already learned that years after I started working, to be honest.
Mm,
I
mm.
started tracking. Ganon.
Ako usually, yung experience ko na, ako, thankfully yung mom ko is, again, as I mentioned, medyo progressive about the conversation of money, no? So, from a young age, hindi naman ako yung nagtatrack dati kasi hindi naman ako binibigyan ng allowance when I was younger. May baon ako lagi. But, but, from a young age, nagsisave talaga ako. Although mostly yung pinagsisavean ko is, gusto ko bumili ng PS2, ganun.
Mm.
Yung mga hobbies ko lang
Simple
talaga.
lang, no? Oo, nung bata tayo,
Tapos,
simple lang yung mga ano
siguro
natin.
when I was 10, that was when I got yung talagang first bank account na ako yung nagmamanage. So, may ATM ako at passbook. Tapos dun, yung passbook, I don't know if people still use passbooks now. I'm pretty sure people do pa rin. Pero yung parang you can see yung money nagbabawas-bawas. So, medyo nako-conscious na ako ng
Oo.
slight. So, medyo that's when I started trying to keep track of my budget na rin. So, ayun. So, some of the money beliefs that I heard naman from my peers growing up, yung mga classmates ko, ganun. It's like, parang when we'd bring up the conversation of money, it would usually be, money can't buy happiness nga. And
Oo, sabi nga.
and then money can make you greedy daw. So,
Oo.
ayun. So, just so that we can touch this before moving on, no? So, why are we having these, why is money a taboo sa ating society now, di ba? So, my guess, this is just my guess, no? But money kasi is equal to status nowadays. I mean, not just now, pero for the longest time. And because of that, if you don't have money, people will see you as a failure or parang there's a negative light, negative connotation. And people just don't want to be judged, 'di ba? Alam naman natin, we can't help it. Not just Filipinos, but people in general, medyo may pagka-judgmental ang mga tao. So if you have too much money,
Agree
pag-iisipan nila, if you have too much money, isipin na, ang yabang nito, you're a braggart, you're
Oo,
greedy.
tama.
Tapos yung iba, if you don't have enough, ma-hurt yung pride nila kasi baka they cannot support their families, ganun. So
That's
basically
right.
yung biggest block against talking about money is what will people think. Kasi for either way you can't win kasi. So that's why I think we have taboo in money.
That's right. And I think yun nga din sinabi mo kanina, like what I also heard growing up na pag nakikipag-usap ka if you talk about money, people is gonna think na, ay, gusto mo lang pera ang makuha mo sa buhay. 'Di ba? But sometimes kasi money follows to people who make significance in the world eh. So, I think that's what people should really focus on, that money doesn't mean that you have money, greedy ka or evil ka. It's because you have money because you wanted to make the world a better place. Diba? Kaya nandiyan yung mga businesses natin and all that. Kasi at the end of the day, money is just really a tool. Wala namang utak yan eh, di ba? Iwan mo yung 10 milyon sa isang kwarto, di ba? After 10 years, may mangyayari ba? Wala. Kasi money can't move. It's really the person who has the money who can decide whether money can be a friend or a foe. Pili ka na lang kung how you would approach money.
So, Marianne, true sinasabi mo. So, at the end of the day, how can we make money our ally nga ba?
That's a really good question kasi para ma-eliminate yung thought natin na money is a bad thing, especially sa culture natin, we have to think that there is a way to make money an ally. And first of all, we have to emphasize that money is just a tool. I think uulit-ulitin ko siya. It doesn't have a brain that can decide what it will do. Because alam mo yun, at the end of the day, ano lang siya, it's just a material thing eh. So, yung tao talaga na may pera ang may desisyon. Kung saan niya ilalagay yung pera niya, ano gagawin niya sa pera niya, di ba? So, it's really more on the perspective. It starts with the perspective of how you see money.
Agree. Syempre, if you don't like to talk and learn about money because you think it's evil, and you really won't take the time to learn how money works. Dyan kasi nagsistart yan. So learning begins when you also get interested. With the mindset of money, if we do not talk about it, sabi nga ni Cerna dito, and the more we avoid talking about it, the more we ignore the signs that we are not doing good financially. Exactly. So if we do not talk about money, we'll be encouraging bad habits in younger generations. Kasi tingnan mo as a kid, since it's not your own money and you're not taught to manage your own money, from a young age, it would be nice to know how to manage your money so that that's a skill that you'll have growing up, diba? And yun nga, you also figure out what your time is worth, not just for the earning a lot of money sa investments, ganun. Pero like, for example, yung mga pay gaps, ganun. Kasi napakatabo ang napaka tabu na topic yung pagdi-discuss ng pay, 'di ba? Pero what if you're discovering na yung job mo pala, you can get paid for more, 'di ba?
Oo,
So kasi
tama.
you're not talking about money eh. So ayun.
Kaya nga din, I mean, when it comes to education, di ba, laging sinasabi ng parents natin, the only way for you to be successful in life is to finish your education, find a job. So that's why a lot of people are stuck, not knowing na they can earn more based on their skills. Yun nga yung sabi mo kanina, their money, their worth in terms of their skill and their ability to provide more value sa particular na clients nila, for example. And yun nga, if they do have that positive mindset about money, they'll eventually ask themselves kasi, why am I really working? Am I just really working to earn money? But what else? Diba? Yung may why din kasi siya eh. Like, why do I need to work? It's because I need to provide for my family financially. But what else? Diba? Ikaw ba, Gab, have you ever asked yourself the why?
I remember asking myself that same question. And normally, if we ask other people about this, we would hear answers like, for my dreams, diba? But what are these dreams? These have to be specific. Bahay, kotse, business, retirement, travel abroad. Like, those are all good dreams and I'm not knocking them down. But you really need to be specific. Kasi if you just say, I want to save for retirement, that's a very flimsy goal kasi it's not specific enough. You're not giving yourself a timeline, you're not giving yourself anything. A better goal would be like, I want to live comfortably by the age of 55 and have my own house. Ayan, that's very specific. Ganon.
That's right. Totoo yan, no? Dapat specific ka, especially kung retirement. When do you want to retire? Do you want to retire at age 50? At age 40? Diba yung iba pa nga very bold, they want to retire at age 45. Now, if you already have that specific goal, you also have to know how to strategize to achieve these goals or these dreams. Kasi unless you do something about it or unless you do an action to make these dreams come true, they will remain a dream. And kasi aminin na natin, yung mga dreams din natin minsan, we know it, but sometimes we don't know how we can achieve it, or specifically, how much do we need to achieve that dream? Kumbaga yung monetary value ng goal natin na yan. Kasi sa totoo lang, meron yung monetary value, di ba? Kunyari, kotse. Gusto ko magkaroon ng kotse by age ganito. You should also specify kung magkano yung kailangan mong money to be able to achieve that. So apart from knowing the what, you should also know the how much. Kung
Mhm.
ano, kung magkano. Ganun siya, 'di ba? Kasi problem din sa atin minsan, we can't answer these questions like magkano ba, paano ba. We only set goals but we don't give ourselves timeline as well as the amount kung magkano talaga. Kaya minsan madali tayong matempt or mahatak na, may naipon naman na ako, shopping nga muna ako. Because we don't have that specific value, monetary value, or the how much part of our goals. So this
Mhm.
is where setting money and financial goals come in. So this is the first step for us to be able to make money really an ally. Diba, Gab?
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
So, ayun. So, what is money goal setting? 'Di ba? So, what is it nga ba? Simply put, it's what you want to do with your money and any plan that you have for money in the present and in the future.
Present, future.
Yes, parang ano siya, short and long-term goals, 'di ba? So, in a lot of ways,
Mm.
goals define our tendencies. So, with the for money goals tend to
Mm-mm.
define our spending tendencies. So, ang short term, typically things you might want to achieve or buy or anything sooner rather than later. So, some examples there are just credit card bills, travel, mga hobbies mo.
Mm-hmm.
Long terms are things you want to achieve in the future. So that's houses and retirement. Ayan.
Mm-mm. That's right. So maybe maybe we can help them, no, try to
Mhm.
categorize siguro, as you mentioned, my goals tayo, since goals are our helps our spending tendencies.
Mhm.
So if you guys, yung mga nakikinig ngayon na audience natin, if you want to take note of this, please do so. This is us categorizing our goals in terms of the terms or the timeline. So, let's say short term, mid-term, and long-term goals. So, may tatlo
Mhm.
yan. Pag ba sinabi nating short term, sabi mo kanina mga credit bills or um, travel funds na
Mhm.
ginagamit natin for the dream destinations that we have. Normally, it's between 3 to 5 years.
Mhm.
Tama. Pag short term, right?
Mhm.
Kapag midterm naman, it should be between 5 to 9 years. So, medyo mahaba-haba din siya. And pag long term, ito na yung talagang more than 10 years. Now, if you do know how to categorize your goals into these three terms or timeline, you'll be able to also strategize kung ano yung una mong i-achieve, ano yung next, how much yung kailangan mo i-save every month, what else do you need to do to be able to achieve that. Diba?
Mhm.
Ikaw ba, Gab, do you really like strategize or set your goals per timeline? Naka-specify ba siya into short, mid, or long-term goals?
Yun nga. So, when considering yung mga financial goals ko, I do consider yung timeline ko. Kasi yun nga,
Mm.
I want to have a concrete timeline when I plan out what I want. So,
Mm-hmm.
just to give an example nga, when I started working after graduating, I was 20 years old. Ang sinabi ko sa sarili ko na before the age of 30, gusto ko magka property. So that's a condo,
Mm.
ganun. So talagang yung
Mm-mm.
yung focus ko ever since I started working at age 20 was just taking the time to look for um look for properties, of course, that I could afford with my salary at the time. Um
Mm-hmm.
and take the steps that I need to take para maabot ko yan. So since I have a timeline na I want it by 30, and I graduated at 20, that was a long-term goal for me. So I took the
Mm-hmm.
time
10
to do it.
years.
Mm-mm. So yun,
That's
kinategorize ko
right.
siya.
Kasi action din talaga, no?
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Mm.
Tapos on top of that, ayun na, I'd
That's
also have
right.
short-term goals kasi yun nga, as
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
a young professional rin, medyo mahilig ako mag-travel. So I also have to account for yung
Mm-hmm.
hilig ko na sa pagta-travel. Like, I love going to other countries. Ganun.
Mm-hmm.
So, talagang
That's
nakaplanado
nice.
lahat ng pinagsispend ko so that I can, enjoy yung hobbies ko tapos enjoy rin yung gusto kong mangyari sa buhay ko later in life. Ayun.
Ayan. So, sorry, medyo nagkakaroon lang ako ng internet difficulty dito on my end. But yeah, tama naman si Gab. Meron siyang both short-term and long-term goal. And I think this is also what us Filipinos should do. Kasi kapag nakaset na yung mindset mo sa specific goal, the other distractions in life, you'll have more control. Hindi ka agad matitempt. Right? Kasi iniisip mo yung goals mo. More than the short-term lang na happiness ng mga gastos dyan na hindi naman talaga magbibigay ng value for you in the long run. Ayan. So again, when it comes to goals, you should set the time frame. Is it a short-term goal, which is 3 to 5 years? A mid-term goal, 5 to 9 years? Or a long-term goal, which is 10 years? Ayan. So, take note nyo dyan. Sana maalala nyo yan. Okay?
So guys, if you want, comment kayo dyan sa comment section. Ano yung some of your goals? Baka ma-feature po after our break mamaya. Ayun. Sorry for interrupting you, my lovely host.
No worries. Ayan. So now the question is, diba? Pag we already know how to categorize our goals into short, mid, and long-term goals, may iba pa ba tayong kailangan malaman to make our money goal setting more effective? So how else can we set money goals? So later we'll share to you 4 questions that you can ask yourselves when setting money goals. So ayan. So medyo kailangan nyo ng mga notebook and papers later para naman may matutunan kayo for this evening. Okay? But before that, curious lang din muna ako. Ikaw ba, Gab? Apart from dun sa na-mention mo earlier, no, na condo and traveling, what are some goals that you are currently working on? Meron ka din bang midterm goal?
So yung other goals naman that I'm working on right now is of course one, an emergency fund. Kasi especially now with the times being as tough as they are, it will always be nice to have funds set up on the back just in case something happens to me or the people I care about, diba? Other goals that I have, even shorter term, is yun nga, pay off some of my debt. So primarily yan yung credit card bills ko na tumataas dahil sa Lazada, char. Ayun, and then life insurance policies.
Nako, mga sale.
Life insurance policies. Tapos yun, there's the condo nga that I'm getting na hopefully mapapasa akin na next year. Yung maintenance ng kotse ko, so that's something I have to prepare for usually mga every 6 months, and wala, just leave stuff for myself, ganun. And I have some investments on the side, although nothing I'm actively saving for at the moment. Ikaw, Marianne?
Ayan. Oo. Ako naman, I'm still on the saving part for my emergency fund, paying off debt, and life insurance. So, yung bahay, kotse ko, it's my long-term goal. Ang kotse, actually, it's my mid-term goal. So, wala pa ako doon. Although, I'm already working on it na. As well as my own house. I mean, nakatira naman ako sa own house, pero sa parents ko. But, syempre, I wanna have my own house for my own family naman din in the future. Matagal-tagal pa siya, no? Kaya, gusto ko munang hindi pa ako ready to settle in a place without really making sure na, alam mo yun, may sarili na din akong family. So, kumbaga ganun din yung thinking ko when it comes to a house, yung own house ko. Ayan. So, nandun pa lang din ako na nasa midterm goal pa lang ako. Yung long-term goal ko, medyo matagal pa siya. Ayan.
Okay.
So, there. Yun nga yung mga first question, no, na we need to ask ourselves when setting money goals. Kaya kita tinanong, Gab, it's because first you have to ask yourself, what am I saving for? So, once you already know what you're saving for, categorize mo siya into short, mid, and long. Na sabi ni Gab, emergency fund. emergency fund, paying off debt. Ito yung pinaka first two important things na kailangan yung pag-ipunan as part of your short-term goal. Right, Gab?
Yan. So
Ayan.
sa short term funds, yun talaga yung mga gastusin natin. Within the short term, yung kailangan nating i-pay off right away. And with regards to debt, mas maganda sana if we can remain debt-free, di ba? Kasi yung debt natin, yan talaga yung mag-a-affect sa money goals natin. That can cause a lot of delays. So the sooner we can pay off our debts,
Lalo
that's
na
why
yung credit
naka-short term
card
siya.
kasi nag-i-earn ng interest yung utang.
Oo, if you don't pay it on time, may mga markup pa, yung mga interest yun. So, ayun. So with the midterms, we have yung midterm goals, yung life, health, accident insurance. Yun nga. So for life, health, accident insurance, yun nga, we can never really expect bad things to happen to us. Yun nga, yung insurance nga is the one thing we pay for that we don't wish na magagamit natin. But yun nga, it's something that we need to prepare for. And typically these are midterm goals, ganun. Kasi medyo mataas yung ano nila. Medyo mataas yung ano nila. So it will take some time for you to save up to actually start a policy, ganun. Yung cars are more yes, midterm kasi typically when you get a car loan, that's about 5 years unless you can pay it Yung house, depende rin yan sa depende siya sa class ng house. But if it's like a small condo or a apartment, ganun, yes, this can be classified as a midterm goal. You can get it within mga 5 to 10 years depending on yung depending on how yung salary mo, ganun. For long naman, business and investment, if you want a business, nasa EntrepRadio nga tayo, and if you need any tips for running a business, check out EntrepRadio, bukas po siya. Ayun, so business is a long-term investment. So kahit from year one and you're hoping it will last to your lifetime. Ganun. So that's something you need to prepare for. For investments, depende on the kind of investment.
That's right.
But we have shorter term investments na 5 years. Typically, most bonds are like 5 years. But there are also investments na 30 years, 25 years. And you need to prepare for that. You need to, kasi yung mga minimum investable allowance amounts from mga institutions, typically matataas rin yun. And then yun, house and lot, yun nga, for mga bigger properties, yun, typically, ang mga loans nun, mga 25 to 30 years. So talagang yan, long-term talaga yan. So you really need to plan for that. And of course, retirement, na hopefully, matagal pa para sa atin dalawa.
Pero we can already work on retirement naman as early as now. So kumbaga i-divide nyo na lang kumbaga when it comes to setting money goals and really preparing or kumbaga pagtatabi ng money for that, just let's say kumbaga mas for now as short-term goal, mas mataas yung amount for the emergency fund kasi kailangan mo yan ma-build agad-agad 'di ba? Now once you're done with the emergency fund, doon mo na ibibigyan ng higher na amount ang savings mo for maybe business, ganyan, investments. Sa long-term goals, Gab, important na pag-ipunan nila talaga to. I mean, this is the money that they're ready to lose kasi even business is a big risk to our finances, Kasi may posibilidad na the business won't work and you might lose all your investments for the business. So that's why nasa long-term goal din siya.
So ayun. So what other questions should we ask when setting a money goal, 'di ba? So first, you need to have how much do I save for? So how much do I save for? This is getting the knowledge yung how much is a house and lot going to cost? How much of how big of a loan must I take out for a house and lot? How much is the minimum investing amount for say RTB 350 ganon. So this gives you a concrete target, 'di ba? And when do I achieve it? This gives you a deadline naman. So that yun nga, it prepares you to na you have to save a certain amount so that you can invest this money. You have to make sure na yun nga, you have a target amount and a deadline that is realistic and achievable. Kasi alangan namang, gusto ko mag-Tokyo. Tokyo, Japan,
Tapos next
diba?
week agad.
Tapos
Ganon.
next week agad. Hindi ka pa nagsisweldo ha. Wala ka pang savings. Pero gusto ko next week. Sige, bibili na ako ng ticket.
Via
Ganon. So,
credit card. Ganon yan eh. Kasi di ba
via credit.
darating naman yung sweldo.
Exactly. So, what are ways, the last question, aside from yung how much do you save for and when do you want to achieve it, is how can I achieve it? So, achieving it, yun nga, you need to develop some good money habits, which we will get into later. Earn money, have a saving plan sa mga sweldo natin, or if bata
That's
po pa kayo, that's yung allowance nyo, have a saving plan. So typically yung nagiging kong nasasuggest would be the 50-30-20 saving plan. So 50% of say yung sweldo mo will go to yung mga utilities nyo,
Expenses.
yung actual expenses nyo.
Mga needs.
Mga needs nyo. So yung 30% naman of your sweldo typically will go to yung mga interests mo, mga hobbies mo, yung everyday spending mo. Just yung para ma-enjoy mo naman yung mga pinaghirapan nyo, di ba? Tapos yung 20%, that will go to your savings. That's yung concrete savings mo talaga. Na before anything else, yung 20% na yan, tinatanggal mo na sa bank account mo bago mo pa makalimutan.
That's
Ganon.
right. So parang ito din yung tinatawag na PYF, yung pay yourself first, no? Na dapat pag natanggap mo yung sahod mo, unahin mo yung 20% na savings mo para sa sarili mo. And then you divide the next 50 to 30 for your monthly expenses and your leisure fund. Kasi tama yung sabi ni Gab kanina, kailangan mo din i-enjoy yung pera mo. Kasi deserve mo din naman siya. Pero ano lang, dapat disiplina, like you have to be disciplined on hanggang magkano lang yung pwede kong gastusin for this cut-off when it comes to leisure. Ayan. So doon na papasok dyan yung discipline when it comes to saving money.
So, other ways that you can achieve your goal, if you can find a way to earn extra income. So, if you have a skill that's marketable. So, katulad namin ni Marianne, di ba? Si Marianne is in the insurance business. Ako, I'm a investment research specialist. Pero we're also voice artists on the side. Ganon. It can be
That's
something as
right.
simple as that. Or if you're another way to earn extra income is to invest. So mga investments natin. So ako personally, I have a few government bonds under my belt and they do give coupons to me. So that's extra income rin regularly. That's extra money that I can save up. No? So what are other types of investments aside from bonds, which are debt instruments? Now we have the money market. So that's time deposits, LCDs, ganun. Long-term certificate of deposits rather. Equities. So yan yung tinatawag nating stocks. Ayun. If you have money to lose and you're confident in yung financial knowledge niyo to interpret what's in the news, why not, diba? Kasi when it comes to investments, typically naman it's high risk, high reward naman. You can get funds or policies, diba? Mga UITFs, mga pooled funds through
Mutual funds.
to invest in specific asset classes, ganun.
That's right. Basta remember lang when it comes to investments, medyo risky talaga siya. So make sure that you have money that you're ready to lose. Unless you have completed your mga short-term goals like emergency fund or mga paying off your debt, try to kumbaga balance if you're really ready to invest, diba? Because investment, to be honest, is the best way for you to achieve your goals. If you can invest, ito talaga yung pinaka-best. But in the beginning, make sure to complete nyo muna yung mga emergency fund nyo, yung mga protection fund nyo sa insurance, yung mga multiple stream of income kung tingin nyo hindi enough yung currently na sinasweldo nyo. Ganyan. So, there are a lot of ways for you to achieve your goals.
Of course, we'd like to know mga katok, mga ka-money talk dyan. We'd like to know from you guys as well. How do you categorize yung mga money goals nyo? So comment kayo dyan sa comment section. And we'll be having a short break. And aspiring voice, we'd like to ask, aspiring voice artist ba kayo? So while we're on our break, we'll be showing a video for the Certified Voice Artist program. See you guys in a few minutes.
See you later.
EntrepRadio Online.
"2020 was the year we all looked forward to. It's the start of a new decade. It's the year of perfect vision. Or so we thought. And then the pandemic happened. Now, 2020 has become the year that ushered in the new normal. But in spite of that, here in Creative Voices, we believe it's still the perfect year for your voice to be heard. This is Creative Voices 2020. Bigger, bolder, better. And yet still and always the home of the best Filipino voiceover artists. We provide a pool of hundreds of voice profiles. Male or female, young or mature, calm or energetic. In English, Tagalog, and other Philippine dialects.
Tuloy ang kwento. Padayon ang istorya.
Ituloy ti istorya.
Telestoria continua.
Isundo may istorya.
Padagos lang ang satuyang istorya.
Padayon ang imo nga sugilanon.
Tuloy ang kwento.
An online platform for selecting, booking, and obtaining the perfect voiceover for your commercial, movie, corporate video, e-learning, telephone system, etc. You name it, we voice it. State-of-the-art recording studio, equipment, and software for a guaranteed crisp and clear audio quality. Online workshops on voice acting, home studio setup, and audio editing. We have produced over 2,000 graduates from VoiceWorks, our popular voice acting workshop since 2005. And the pandemic is no reason to stop. Vision 2025 to be the leading national network of young Filipino voice artists and creative voices. Mission to provide developmental opportunities and platform that empower young Filipino voice artists in every corner of the Philippines to use their voices to promote positive social change. Adapt, adopt, adept. We create a culture of giving, sharing, loving, and caring. And disrupt the culture of selfishness, greediness, and ungratefulness. We give every unheard and aspiring Filipino voice artist an opportunity to rise above the noise and be heard. Be part of the new normal created by Creative Voices 2020. Join Certified Voice Artist Program. Creative Voices 2020 Vision 2025. Creative Voices Productions. www.youtube.com/thevoicemaster. #Voice from Home. Dahil basta boses, creative voices.
EntrepRadio Online.
Ayun. So, guys, today is the last day today ng batch 8. Batch 8 ng CVAP. And batch 9 starts na on September 4, kaya wag na kayo maghintay. Me and Marianne are both graduates of the CVAP program. I'm from CVAP batch 6, and Marianne, anong batch ka ulit? Sorry.
Batch 2 ako. Sobrang tagal ko na sa CVAP.
Yan. So
Yeah,
masaya
and
siya,
promise,
guys.
worth
Masaya.
it naman. Yeah.
Worth it siya. Masaya siya, and we just have fun here. And voice artistry is an art, and it's a fulfilling art naman.
That's right.
So take the first step today and register for the Certified Voice Artist Program Batch 9.
That's right.
Ayan. So before we move on, let's read some of our comments na lang
mga
here
comments
kasi
natin dyan.
kanina pa nagpa-pop up ng mga comments dito ng tech natin at hindi natin binabasa.
Kaya
Ganon. Yan. So,
Sige.
Sir Rene, let's go mga katoks. Ang minamahal naming Sir Rene. Ang
Sir
gwapo-gwapo
Rene.
niyan, guys. Hi, Karen.
Yan from
Hey,
Miss
hey,
Karen.
hey.
Karen talaga.
Karen. Karen daw sabi niya.
Karen
Ay,
daw. Okay.
sino to? Captivating hosts and interesting topics. Ayun. From our Miss Pass.
Na-captivate. Sinong na-captivate?
Na-captivate?
si Gab?
Sinong na-captivate? Ayun. Hi, Teng! Katok sa maganda and gwapong host
Gwapong
ng
host.
MoneyTok.
Wow naman.
Yes. Hi, Miss Faith! Hello, mga katoks. Ayun.
Hello, Miss
Next.
Faith.
Ayan, speaking of pay gaps, yan, glassdoor.com, guys. There's information on mga average salaries on your average salaries ng mga positions. Ganun. Hello, Ka-Entreps. Guys, si Papa Lem, kakagaling yan ng VOTY, Voice of the Youth Network.
Kita. Ayan. So, ano pa ba yung mga comments natin dyan?
Ayan, usapang hobbies na pala. Ay, grabe sabihin. Huwag tayo ganyan.
Hobbies
Bata pa
na.
ako. Char. Ayan, Karen. Same tayo, Gab. I want stability na by the age of 30. Like own properties na ipaparent for Airbnb and a better profession. Right now, a step closer. So right now, almost finished with masters. Short term is to have a budget for IHMO again. Ayun. So it's very nice na nakaset na siya ng goal. Pero also make sure na you develop the behaviors and the mindset para ma-achieve mo yung goal, Miss Karen.
Right.
But I believe
Thank
you
you for
will
sharing
naman.
that goal.
Hi, Miss Janine! Hello, mga katoks!
Hello. Ito, kabatch ko to, si Janine. Very successful na in the voice artistry. Ayan.
So we have a comment rin from Sir Richard Avalos. Great! Ay guys,
Great.
confirm ko lang guys, si Sir Rich, 6'6" talaga yan. Confirm. 6'6"
Bakit 6'6"?
inches. Yan yung niya. 6'6" daw siya talaga.
Yung desired height.
Hindi, height niya talaga. Don't,
Yung height talaga.
Wag ka na
Huwag nang
height niya
panira,
talaga
no?
yan.
Sige, I agree.
Ayan. Tapos, we have another comment by Miss Karen. Agree daw siya sa point natin sa debt that she had last year daw after pandemic and sickness. Nako po. At least I hope nakaka-recover na po kayo. Ayun. Tapos ito, may isa pang comment from Janine na baka magalit yung mga tao. BB Christian Rocco about handling finances. Watch tayo. Wag po kayo
Sana
magalit sa
all.
kanya. Proud po siya.
Pero sana
Ayan.
ganun, no? Parang tinatag nila ngayon yung mga jowa nila, lalo na pag mga couples. Because finances or money is another good topic and dun mo makikita kung siya na ba yung the one kapag ready na siya. Charot lang. Baka
It's an important aspect naman. Yun.
Yeah, aspect in a relationship.
So,
Being
it's
open about
amazing.
what's needed.
It's amazing to see our mga ka-money talks, mga sharing their money goals dyan, and yung mga nag-hello, nag-hi lang sa atin ngayon. So,
Right.
ayun, before we continue, 'di ba? Make sure guys na abangan niyo po ang TikTok page namin, si MoneyTok.PH. Release po kami ng video na pwede niyong i-stitch or do it.
Oo.
At
Baka
baka po
ma-feature pa
ma-feature.
kayo.
Exactly,
At may
exactly.
pa-prize pa dyan si Gab pag na-feature kayo. So make
Wow,
sure,
ako lang
tune
talaga.
in.
Ako lang
Tayong dalawa
talaga.
pala.
Tayong dalawa naman, partner.
Ayaw ba? Charot lang. Oo, magbibigay kami ng prizes kapag nag-stitch or nag-do it kayo sa upcoming TikTok namin. Abangan niyo yan.
Okay, sige po. So, moving on, Marianne. Ayun.
Yeah, since kanina na napag-usapan natin yung 4 questions on how to make money an ally. Now, siguro pag-usapan natin ngayon yung importance since meron din mga nag-share ng mga goals nila sa chat box, sa comment section.
Okay.
Pag-usapan naman natin, why is it really important to set money goals?
So, why is it important to set money goals, di ba? So, there are 3 factors to what makes setting money goals important. So first, it creates a mindset. So yung mindset na to, you create plans. Yun nga, magiging goal-oriented ka when it comes to yung money mo. And you get to track your progress, di ba? Kasi alam naman natin, if anyone here is a gamer, ganun, tracking your progress talaga is very addicting. So when you see na you're about to, when you're about to achieve yung goal mo, let's say, bibili ka na ng kotse. Like, oh my gosh, makakabili na ako ng Honda Civic, ganun. Konti na lang, I'll have enough to buy a car. Ganun. When you see na palapit ka na ng palapit dyan, maa-addict ka to reach your goal talaga, 'di ba? So it releases a lot of happiness sa'yo. Ang next thing that it encourages when you transform your relationship with money, no? And why money goal setting is important is, yun nga, it changes your behavior. It forces you to change yung behavior mo. One, it forces you to prioritize kasi you have things that you want to achieve, you're prioritizing them over maybe say mga short-term fleeting interests, ganon. Next up, it also creates accountability sa sarili mo. So by creating accountability, say, okay, I'm gonna I want to buy a car, 'di ba? What if gusto ko gumimik with my friends, ganon. And I mean, hindi naman masama to go out with your friends, 'di ba? Pero naiisip mo na they wanna go somewhere expensive. So manghihinayang ka na if you do spend money on that, mapapalayo ka sa goal mo. It creates accountability within you.
And I think ito yung parang
go.
sinasabi, dito papasok yung financial confidence, no? Yung may confidence ka to also say no because it's not aligned or in line with your budget. So, alam mong budgeted ka lang. So, confident ka din to say no. So, that's also part of being financial confident.
Tapos lastly, why money setting is important. No? It develops kahit hindi ka pa mag-aral ng actual finance, katulad like me for example na talagang babad in the finance industry. It gives you a certain degree of financial literacy. So what does this financial literacy give you, no? It helps you strategize kung ano yung magiging move mo. And it helps prepare you to make smarter decisions.
That's right.
Kasi hindi naman pwedeng gora ka lang ng gora sa kaka-invest mo, mo. You know, you'll need to have, for you to talagang achieve yung gusto mo mangyari, you'll have to have a certain degree of knowledge rin, which will be developed as you develop good spending behaviors.
That's
So,
right.
just a quick sample is like, say ako person A, wala akong masyadong alam. Tapos I have a choice of 2 bonds, ganun. So if I do develop my financial literacy, and that's thanks to money goal setting because I want to achieve something, say I have a choice of two bonds para magka-secondary source of income ako, or I just want my money to grow. With the choice of two bonds, let's say one yield to maturity is higher than the other, pero mas mababa ang coupon. Tapos yung other, coupon being the timely payments depending on the time period. Or yung isa, mataas ang coupon pero mababa ang yield to maturity. So if I'm me, kasi I'm younger and I do not need a cash flow to come in right away, I can go for a higher yield to maturity and a lower coupon. Kasi at the end of the day, once the bond matures in say 5 years from now, ayun, I'll stand to earn more. Pero if I'm saying I'm 65 years old and I need money constantly to come in, wala na akong trabaho, I'll opt for the coupon kasi the cash flow, the short-term cash flow is more important to me. So decisions like this will help yung this is where financial literacy and knowledge comes in. Ayun.
That's right. And I think maganda din yung alam natin yung financial level natin, 'di ba? So that we'll know is it time to study another type of investment or to risk into another investment. So syempre financial education. So to sum up what Gab shared, it should be your mindset. And then once your mindset is already good na hindi mo na iniisip na money is evil, it's time for you, syempre, to now build good habits when it comes to saving, when it comes to money, which is yung behavior mo. And then lastly, syempre, financial education, because you won't be able to act on a specific mindset or behavior if you don't know what to do as well, right? So financial education. So mindset, behavior, and financial education. But the key foundation talaga there is always behavior. Minsan kasi kalaban natin yung sarili natin, di ba? Sabi mo nga kanina, Gab, no? If you are to choose between saving for that dream car or going out to a very expensive restaurant with friends, which would you choose? So your discipline and your behavior is the answer kung gaano mo siya na train, right? Now, we are going to share lang the summary of what we have talked about before we move on to the last topic of the night. So, I think, the tech team is ready to show so that everyone will have, the people watching will also have the summary of everything we've so far talked about when it comes to money goal setting. So, syempre, habang wala pa.
It's there na. Nasa screen na.
It's there na?
Yeah.
Parang hindi ko nakikita.
Basta, ayun. So, this is what we've talked about so far. So, on the left, you see yung time frame. May short-term, mid-term, long-term. Naka-classify yan dyan. Tapos here, this is where you can list yung goals nyo in the second column. Ayan. So, naka-arrange siya by time frame, no? So that mas madali siyang intindihin. On column 3, ayan. So, how much do I save for? So, kunin mo na kung ano yung concrete na kailangan mo i-save so that may target ka na. This is your target amount that you need. Ganon. Column 4, when do I want to achieve it? Yan yung deadline natin. By when do we want to achieve it? So, para maging mas concrete and we have a timeline when we want to achieve yung amount sa column 3. And then, column 4, how can I achieve it? Just list down yung mga possible things na pwede mong gawin para ma-achieve to. It's nice, it's nice to have something written down para, when you're looking back at this list, baka may nakaligtaan ka. So, this might be a new avenue for you to achieve yung gusto mo. Diba, partner?
Ayan, tama. Oo, hindi ko siya nakikita on my end. So, thank you for explaining. So, that's like the whole picture, the big picture of what we've talked about. And tama nga si Gab, no? Make sure to write it. Kung hindi kayo masyadong pen and paper, go use Excel. Excel is like a best friend of mine in everything that I do, even if just, planning, diba, sa travel, if you're really into travel. So, ayun siya. Excel.
Ayan. So once the goals are set, what's next, diba? So the next point is you have to build good money habits. So, ayun nga. So, good money habits, you need to track your spending. Ito talaga. Maraming apps dyan sa App Store or sa Play Store, Google Play Store, that help you track your spending. Kasi, you never realize how much you spend until it's on paper na. Ayan. So ako, some suggestion ko
Parang
rin is
ano?
Ay, go. Go. Sorry.
Sige, go lang. Ikaw muna, go.
Okay, so yung suggestion ko, like minsan, parang, yun nga, write it down or put it in an app. Tapos ako, minsan, ako talaga, sometimes I do prefer to use cash kasi mas real yung pagkawala ng pera ko pag cash ang gamit ko compared to a debit card or a credit card. Kasi minsan
Talaga?
kasi minsan kasi it's just a card walang physical hindi ko naman nakikita yung balance niyan lagi. So when it's cash, parang it's like, may nawawala sa wallet ko, but wala nang laman to. Ganun, di ba?
I see.
Ayan.
So para magkaiba naman tayo, ako I prefer using online these days. And mas prefer ko yung Excel. So what I normally do when kumbaga paano ko na-build yung good money habits ko was that every month, I have like one day na parang financial admin day ko. Na on that day, normally Sunday yun eh. Every 2 weeks, nilalatag ko na yung mga kailangan kong paghandaan, na kailangan kong bayaran, kailangan kong, alam mo yun, paggastusan for the next 2 weeks. So, kumbaga, yung ipon ko for this cut-off, for example, that is already a saving for the next cut-off na payments. Parang gets? So, parang advanced type of saving. So, kapag kaya nyo na yan, pag na-build nyo na yung good money habits na yan, add nyo na lang dito yung consistency to make sure na kaya nyong panindigan yung goals na sinet ninyo sa sarili nyo.
And most importantly, kailangan you guys need to invest in knowledge. Kasi if you don't know what you're doing, you could just be throwing your money somewhere na mawawala lang. So, you can start somewhere, but if you plan to go to yung mga more complicated avenues for making your money grow, like investments nga, you need to be knowledgeable. If you're gonna invest in stocks, you need to learn some fundamentals, need to understand what's on financial news. If you're gonna enter into government bonds, you're gonna have to know when is it a good time to enter. Have a benchmark. So if your investments if inflation is at 3%, tapos your investments are on average giving you 2%, what does that mean? Bakit ka pa mag-i-invest, 'di ba? Kasi your money is losing 1% against the rise of prices, 'di ba? So you need to invest in knowledge talaga. Parang sabi nga nila, kung papasok ka lang sa gera at magpapatay-patay ka lang, you're not going to mamamatay ka lang kaagad. You're not gonna win the battle. So you need to prepare yourself. Kasi in a lot of ways, parang if you go kasi in a lot of ways rin ang investments, kasi di ba may risk siya involved. It's kind of like gambling, pero it's educated gambling talaga. And there are factors that you can control.
Lalo na ngayon na sobrang daming nagtitrend na mga investments. And yung iba parang, dahil because trending siya, try ko nga to. Pero hindi pala nila ready to lose that money. So, paano pag natalo nila yung amount ng money na yun, diba? So, invest in knowledge. Ready ka ba talaga to enter that investment? So, grabe, Gab, no? Parang, ang sarap talaga pag-usapan ng mga money goals. Pero, sobrang dami pa actually nating pag-uusapan about money, the goals that we have, how to strategize our money goals in the future. Pero, let's just save that in our next episode.
So, everyone will be seeing you guys again in 2 weeks, where we'll be tackling mga other things that are important when it comes to money. So, if I'm not mistaken, ang pag-uusapan natin next time in 2 weeks is financial literacy. So, abangan nyo po yan. So, for now, we're about to say goodbye, but first we would like to acknowledge and appreciate our newfound kachikahan, ang ating mga ka-money talks dyan sa mga comment section natin, for engaging with us on our very first episode. Ayan.
Yeah, and thank you as well to our production team. Siyempre, andyan ako at si Gab. And our tech team, si Pao. O, tech reveal na ba yan? Ayan na yung tech reveal. And of course, our EntrepRadio producers. We have Sir Rene Toralba, Miss Faith Pastrana, and Miss Karen Devilla.
Ayon. And of course, a lot of thanks to Sir Choi, the voice master, si Sir Apacholo, the voice master Gonzalez, for making this show possible. And if you're interested in becoming a voice artist, please consider joining the Certified Voice Artist Program, a series of online workshops created by the voice master himself, Pacholo de Leon Gonzalez, that are geared to bring out the voice in you. The next batch po, batch 9, is on September 4 na po. So, register na po kayo.
That's right. So excited na din kami na ma-meet kayo pag naging member kayo ng CVAP. Well, anyway, catch us again in another episode on August 14. That's again in at 6 o'clock p.m. here in EntrepRadio as well. Again, this is Money Talk, where we aim to make conversations about money a normal, comfortable, and fun topic for Filipinos.
Ayan. So with the leadership po of the most influential speaker in the Philippines, si Sir Choi, Pacholo the Voice Master Gonzalez, and yung EntrepRadio team natin, we hope that we were able to engage you in a conversation that makes us and you more financially confident. Ayan.
And this is where we end tonight's convo. Let us then leave you with a reminder that
If you think money can't buy happiness, then deposit in our bank accounts.
To our bank account. For our bank details, you may reach out to us via Facebook. Well, just kidding. Hindi yun totoo ha. So yeah, if we've shared value to you tonight, let us know and let's connect online via Facebook and Instagram. You may personally reach out to me in my Facebook or my Instagram with the username it's Marianne with the triple E at the end. And yeah.
And you can reach me for mga, if you just want to chat me, ganon, you can reach me sa VO page ko, Mr. Old Shoes VO, for, if you just want to talk to me, or just if you have a voice acting job that you want done and you want me to do it, go ahead, visit me there. You can also catch me sa gaming channel ko on Facebook, Mr. Old Shoes naman. And ayun. So reach out to us sa comments. So if you have any comments, rather suggestions or partnerships that you want to give to us, ganon. Make sure to email us at MoneyTok.PH@gmail.com, and don't forget to subscribe to and follow our TikTok and YouTube accounts. MoneyTok.PH for more convos. This is your pakipot na kuripot, Gabby Schulze, signing off.
And your nagmamagandang sigalerang nagpapaalalang okay lang sumagal sa pera pero wag sa taong minsay iniwan ka na, Marianne de la Cerna.
Ayan.
Thank you
and good night.
And good night.